Funny, Ransom, you skipped the funeral, but you're early for the will reading.
Up your ass.
Very nice.
Ransom.
Slap that smug.
You gotta do this more often.
Is this a little bit like coming full circle for you, going back to a murder mystery? Getting away, last couple of films, very special effects, visual effects, sci-fi heavy. Is this sort of like a little bit rootsy for you?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it feels nice being able to just like write tons of dialogue and just like shoot in rooms, regular rooms. But at the same time, you know, it's interesting. The things that are like something like Star Wars and something like this may seem like they're night and day from each other. The truth is that the similarities are more interesting than what's different. I mean, at the end of the day, you're still, you know, the tools are the same. You're still kind of trying to tell a story, trying to connect to a genre that you love, whether it's Star Wars or a whodunit, and, you know, honor the genre while hopefully bringing in some new stuff to the table.
When you have a cast like this is like one of the best casts of the year, you know, how do you find the right balance between kind of letting them go but keeping everybody on kind of the track that you want them on?
Yeah, I mean, it's a balance on set, and I mean, luckily, this cast is so skilled. They clicked in pretty quickly to the tone, and there was very little pulling back that I had to do. If anything, I found it was my job to give them permission to go further, and to say, no, go for it. Show us how far out we can go. It takes a really good actor to be able to give a huge performance and still have it feel grounded enough to work in the context of a movie. And these guys are so good. I found we could push it beyond what we could maybe with other people, and it still worked.
You've worked with Michael Shannon before. I'm not sure who else either of you worked in the cast of the other legendary actors in the cast. Who are you maybe most nervous or excited about meeting?
I actually worked with Chris Evans. Afterwards, we did a TV show. And I actually, my first ever project, I played younger Chris, which I brought up. You're always a little nervous or excited to start a new project and work with new people because this is going to be, like, these are the people you're going to work with for the next however many weeks and months. So there's always a little bit of nervousness. But once you get into it, I think that goes away and you become comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, and this whole cast, they're an incredible cast and people who I've looked up to and I think have done incredible work. So I was just excited to work with everyone. But I think there was a little bit of nervousness in me that came out with Toni Collette, just because growing up Australian, she's such a national treasure, and you know, getting to play kind of mother-daughter and do so many nice scenes together. That was really cool.
I read that Ryan had you all kind of hang out in the house and you all sort of sat in the basement a lot.
Yes.
Did that help kind of create that ensemble feel?
I think so.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens too often where you're doing a movie and after the camera stops rolling, you go your separate ways and you go to your trailers or whatever. But with this, we were like forced to hang out with each other and we immediately became friends and constantly playing games and laughing, and I think that's what made this movie special in a way, besides the script and story and all the other details.
What are the joys of having that, all the people in the one location, and in this case you actually had the location, you had this house that you used for most of it?
It was shot in this house in Massachusetts, and it's exactly what you see in the movie. It's like a murder mystery mansion. This place was amazing. And, I mean, first of all, shooting out there on location, it turns it kind of into summer camp for everybody. And so I think it makes the whole cast bond a little more. And then just shooting inside, outside the house, we were really like, you know, just existing in that space. I mean, you look around, all this stuff, all this detail that our production designer, David Crank, built into the set. I don't know, it immersed all of us in the world of this movie. It made the whole thing even more of a pleasure to shoot, you know.
If somebody said to you, Rian Johnson, point me towards two or three classic murder mysteries.
Oh yeah, I love this game.
Death
on the Nile with Peter Ustinov, that's an all-time classic. The Last of Sheila, which is written by Stephen Sondheim and Anthony Perkins. It's from the 70s. It's a movie not many people have seen. It's an amazing movie. Everyone should track down. And then a movie that's kind of whodunit adjacent, Sleuth from the 70s again, with Michael Caine and Laurence Olivier. It's not a strictly speaking a whodunit, but it's an amazing movie with some great twists, and the house in that movie very much inspired our production design in this one.
I'm just curious about these characters. What drew you to them, and what did you find most fun about playing them?
I remember it was something that I read, and from page 1 to the very last page, it had me, it drew me in, it kept me engaged, and I just found it really fresh and interesting. And a large part of what drew me into that in particular was it's this big, genuine ensemble, an ensemble that has so many different distinctive characters in it. And within that kind of distinctive family of the Thrombies, Meg Thromby, who I play, she felt very much for me like a heart within the film, or almost a bridge between the wealth and the abundance and the privilege of the Thrombies and then the people who work for them, like Marta. And it was that, I think, that relationship between Marta and her, and also that heart that she has, and that kind of bridge factor that really attracted me to her.
I was like, I don't care what kind of character I want to work with Rian Johnson, and I want to work with this amazing cast. I happen to get a Nazi character, so no, but he's a very interesting character. He's far from myself and far from anything I've ever played. But the most fun characters to play are these flawed, unlikable, and despicable people that you hate yourself, but you have to learn to love because they're a part of you.
Now, is your head back in? Are you going back into Star Wars head after this, or do you have something else that may come up, or where?
Well, right now I'm just in the middle of promoting this and putting it out, and I'm still talking to Lucasfilm, but they haven't. They'll announce whenever they announce whatever they're going to with their thing. So, no news on that front. But for me, I'm just kind of figuring out what's going to be next. I'll tell you one thing. God, man, if I could get together with Daniel every few years and make a new Benoit Blanc mystery, we'll see how this one does. But if that ends up working, I can't imagine anything more fun than that.
He's a character you could totally see doing.
It could be like Poirot. You just do a bunch of new cast, new location, new everything. So we'll see.